My name is Shannon Sexton, and I am related. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the pastor's oldest son. There's two of us. My brother Matt is a preacher. He lives here locally in Knoxville. He's pastoring a church currently in South Knoxville that he started. I've worked here with the pastor going on 10 years now, and the Lord has allowed us to do some amazing things. I'm thankful for the opportunity. Part of what Pastor has tasked me to do is to take care of our media, which is our websites, our social media, our publishing company, our television broadcast, and our radio broadcast. So we're going to talk about a few of those things today, and I brought along a panel of gentlemen that help me get that accomplished on a weekly basis. So what I thought we would do to start out is we would go through a few things that the Lord has given us the opportunity to do here. We show you some of those, and then we will talk about, we'll entertain questions from y'all if someone's interested in learning more about those particular things. So we'll get started quickly as we move through with our web ministry, all right? And we have a number of websites. This week we're highlighting baptistfriends.org. I think there's a long name for that too. It's like International Baptist Friends.net, something, which we don't use because it's too long to type. So baptistfriends.org is the primary address that we put in print and try to drive traffic to this particular website. On this website, you'll find things about this meeting. We've already got highlights from Sunday up there as we speak. The highlights from yesterday are being put up there on that website. Chad, if you'll scroll to the bottom a little bit, we've got resources there. There's some advertising there as well. If you go back up to the top, you can find the directories for the churches and different things, colleges, camps all around the world. Hit some of that, Chad. If people haven't been here before, this website, he can take you through some of it. Search by state, search by country, search by continent, all types of different things. Look at that. We're not connected to the internet. Okay. We did not. No, we're not connected to the internet, but we'll get there. But that website, you'll find lots of useful tools. But the main thing for this week is there'll be an update from every speaker that speaks in the evening sessions, as well as some of the Timothy gentlemen that are speaking. Right after they speak, we'll have that. That goes up there live. All right, Chad, are we going to get past this difficulty? All right, here we go. Let's just stay there. Faith for the Family. Faith for the Family is our flagship website. Basically for the church, college, everything we do here. It has, if you scroll to the bottom of that, Chad, we have links to all of our other websites, whether it's the college, the camp, the academy. We direct 90% of our traffic to Faith for the Family. Pastor had a desire to have this ministry years ago, start Faith for the Family. It's not just a website. We have the bookshop, we have the bookstore, we have the online store, different things. But the Lord gave him that name, Faith for the Family, because it's all encompassing. It's not faith for the Baptist family, it's faith for the family. So anyone can feel comfortable going there and looking for useful resources and material. We'll also take you to the college website, which some of you have probably visited. Here's our college website. You'll find everything there that you'd find on any college website, I'm sure. Everything from meal schedules to athletic events, course schedules, class schedules. There's a lot of things on there just for students. We have something on there called Crown Connection where students can talk to their teachers. It's in a portal where they can get to just with their teacher and discuss class materials and different things. All right, Chad, let's go to Temple Baptist Church. It's our church website here. We put up current services. We upload those after every meeting. We have one young lady in Germany who gives us a hard time every week if we're not real prompt on updating this website with new church services. She'll email or call us, and she stays honest about that. But this is our church website. We're thankful for that. So where else have we got to go, Chad? Where haven't we visited here? With our Academy website, we've got that as well. Academy website, same thing as the college. There's a lot of athletics. There's academic competitions. There's class schedules, different things on that as well. So those are some of our websites that our people use frequently. What we have found in the last 2 years is that we are getting more traffic. We're having better results. The Lord is blessing our social media more than our websites. And some of you are maybe new to social media. When I say social media, the two primary sources we use are Facebook and Twitter. We also use YouTube a lot. And a lot of the content that we used to charge for in our ministry, whether it's we'll sell you a CD, or we'll sell you an upload, or we'll try to put this video out and you can pay $19 for it. A lot of that we put up free as free content now through our social media outlets. Not only are we encouraged to do that because we're just trying to get the word out, and in this economy we don't want to charge people for things that we don't have to. Obviously we do have to make money to stay afloat, but we have found that by using our social media, we can drive people to our websites, or we can drive people to a store where they can purchase items they might find useful for their ministry. But let's talk about our social media here a little bit. And we'll start with Facebook. Facebook, we have Temple Baptist Church Facebook page here, which that's probably the Facebook page we get the least amount of activity on, because in the church, a lot of the church members, they're my age or older. They aren't really looking at Facebook quite a bit. We do have a lot of younger church members, but they go to the Temple Baptist Youth Group's Facebook page or YouTube channel, that type of thing. But this is our church's Facebook page. Let's go to a look at the college, Chad. We have a college Facebook page here. Talks about Crown College. Everything that we do as far as chapel. If you go up here, Chad, some of the recent posts, we're talking about the Friends meeting. Here's Brother Tim Trieber was preaching this morning. You can watch live. We'll have comments. People comment on that while it's going on. So very interesting. And here again, we have twice as many visits to our social media sites now as we do to our websites, because everyone's carrying around, a computer in their pocket. So they're checking their Facebook or they're checking their Twitter account, 100 times a day. So they're checking this type of thing. All right, Chad, what else have you got up there for me? I'm having trouble reading over here. Again, we're going to another Facebook here. Yes, the Academy. We have an Academy Facebook page that they update on a regular basis. The Academy uses this in different ways, and the college uses this in different ways than the church does. The Academy and the college will use Facebook to update students on student activities, whether it's a ball game, a music recital, that type of thing, because I'd say 90%, maybe even higher than that, but 90% of our students have a Facebook page. And so we will use the Academy and the college Facebook pages to update our students. Let's talk about Twitter for a minute. Twitter is something else that we use frequently. We have a college Twitter page. Pastor has a Twitter page. The pastor is not a huge social media guy. And really, one of these that he uses himself occasionally is Twitter. He will tweet sometimes, or he'll put something out like that. His Facebook page, my mother likes to update that. And he gets on Facebook too. He has a Facebook page, but you can follow the college. You can follow the pastor. Pastor has and I'll let these gentlemen talk about this a little more, but pastor has a personal page on Facebook, which he's over a friend limit. It's 5,000, and he also has a public Facebook page because he had so many friend requests that we had to move into a public situation, much like President Obama. And if you didn't follow the last election, that's how President Obama became president. He used the power of social media to get elected with young folks. But anyway, we like to use Twitter as well. And then let's take to our YouTube. Let's go through our YouTube channels quickly before I let these guys get in the discussion. Here again, our flagship YouTube page is Faith for the Family. So all of our content goes on Faith for the Family YouTube first. in this meeting here. We've got Day 1 Baptist Friends. You've got a highlight of the Baptist Friends meeting from Day 1. Also, we move into messages that pastors brought recently. We also have music presentations. We line stuff up into playlist on the right. If you drop that on the right, there's playlists. So if you're at home or you're in your office and you want to hit a musical playlist, you can hit a musical playlist and listen to that while you're in the home or office, and it's Christ-honoring music that we've done in our church. But Faith for the Family was our first YouTube page, and it's probably the most visited YouTube page. If you go over to the college YouTube page, very similar situation. If we can get there we are. You'll find on this particular page a lot of things that happen in our chapel services, whether that's special music from chapel, some type of, here we've got a sports event that happened in the college. So it pertains more to college and college activities, youthful activities, that type of thing. We've got everything from soccer, indoor soccer league going on right now, to basketball games, to chapel services, all types of things on that page. The Academy also has a YouTube page, which we can visit here. They update with academics, fine arts competition, sports, and different things. So that gives you a brief overview of what we've got going on as far as our web presence. We hope that you'll go to all of these and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channels so you can keep up with what's going on here in our ministry. Now, what we have found is we get a lot of questions about this, everything ranging from, one of my kids has Facebook and they had a pornography virus that was on there. Anytime you use social media, you're susceptible to that type of thing. We had an instance here, I think last semester, where Facebook had a terrible virus that was going around on Facebook. Basically, as an institution, there's no way we can keep all of our students off their smartphones on their Facebook account. But what we did as an institution was we shut down Facebook through our filtration system here at the college. So the students could not access Facebook or Twitter through the internet here at the college until Facebook resolved that problem. Now, if the student accesses it at McDonald's or they access it through their 4G or 3G service on their phone, there's nothing we can do about that, obviously. But as an institution, we made an institutional decision to shut down that particular social media until they had resolved the issue. And as long as we live, we're going to deal with those type of issues. But when an issue arises that we can control or that we can fix, we do until the appropriate action is taken by the company. But that's something I always get asked, when you're using these forms of social media, do you run into problems? Yes, occasionally we do, and we try to resolve them on a case-by-case basis. We haven't discussed yet our television broadcast, which is on locally here, and I can let Ryan speak to this, who produces it, locally and in this East Tennessee area every Monday evening. We're also on a number of radio stations. We also upload our daily radio broadcast to Faith for the Family every day, and we have people all over the world that watch that. All right? So I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves to you. We'll start here with Mitchell. Mitchell is an independent contractor. He graduated from our school. He owns Integrity Web Development, Design and Coding. I'll let him speak to it. But Mitchell hosts a lot of our servers. He also helps us in an integral way with Crown Web Design, which is a web company that we have. If you go look at that real quick, Chad, I forgot about Crown Web. Sorry, Mitchell. Crown Web Design is a web company we started probably 8 years ago, where you can go and create a website that we will host. And it's a very affordable situation. Mitchell can speak to that briefly. But we host that. We host your website. We take care of it. If you can type a Word document, basically, you can have a website. So there were a lot of pastors who didn't have an extensive staff or didn't really know too much about the internet. And we started this company to take care of those gentlemen's needs. They had asked us to do that. We started this company. The Lord has blessed it. We have hundreds of clients, and the Lord has blessed this endeavor. But anyway, we'll move through. I'm going to let the gentlemen introduce themselves, give a brief overview of what they're responsible for, and then we'll take some questions. I'm sorry it's so hot in here. I'm burning up too, but we'll let the gentlemen introduce themselves.
Well, as Shannon said, my name is Mitchell Killian, and I do work. I've been working with Crown since 2004, and most of my responsibilities revolve around taking care of the server system that provides the streaming content, the websites, email, those sorts of things. And then, of course, we have Crown Web Services, which allows people that have no professional training in website design to control and manage their site, add photos, do all kinds of things that they like to do with just having minimal technological skills. And a lot of people, we have over about 325 churches that are using the service right now, and they've people have been very satisfied with it, and I'm there. We're there to help them with any questions. So it's something they've that I think has been very successful. They're very thankful to do.
My name is Curtis Bixler, and graduated here from Crown, and started working here, and I take care of all the audio video stuff. Ryan helps me a lot with the video aspect of it, but I run the hot seat, I like to think of, back there in the sound booth. It's not always the best place to be in the house, but I learned that pretty quick. But it's been a lot of fun, and I enjoy what I do. We've gotten to get a lot of new equipment in over the last little bit, and got some new boards and digital things that make things a lot easier for the sound man, and that's neat. And we got some new video equipment, and you're more than welcome if you'd like to come over to the church, and we can show you through some of the stuff that we use, the cameras, the equipment that we have in the back, a back room where we videotape. We can walk you through all that stuff and show you some of the stuff that we have.
Back in the back room he mentioned, before we jump, is where we send everything out in the live stream. We live stream every service. Some of that's remixed before it goes back out. That's where we record and television broadcast and do a lot of that type of work. So if you're interested in that type of thing, you can catch up with Curtis over in the auditorium after or before any of the services, and he'd be happy to show you that. Curtis also does all of our YouTube updates. He updates all the YouTube channels and loads and masters content for our YouTube channel.
We use sermon audio to live stream our stuff, and I checked last night, and I think we had like 900 people sign in to sermon audio during the meeting. So it is very busy, and that's a good source to use for anyone. So
my name is Ryan Kiter. I graduated here in 2007, and I've worked for pastors since then. I'm primarily in charge of all the graphic design and photography, along with helping Curtis do some of the audio and video things. So if you have a booklet in your hand for the conference, that's a little bit of my touch on it, I would say. But we do encourage you. This week we have a lot of people that I think have a desire to learn more about these things, and don't feel intimidated or bad at all to come up to one of us, ask us questions, because this is what this week is about. We're here for you, to teach you, to help you learn about things. Like Curtis said, we've just upgraded our entire audio video system to the newest, latest high-definition digital equipment. Our graphic design, we use all the new graphic design programs that, if you wanted to take a step in and try out, we use all that, and we very willing to help you. So if you guys have any questions, we would appreciate doing that for you.
Ryan also, he didn't talk about it. Curtis helps him, but Ryan also produces our television broadcast. Pastor is very involved in that as far as meets with Ryan, tells him what he wants on there, what series we're going through, that type of thing. Maybe speak about that just a little bit.
Our TV broadcast happens on Monday nights at 9 o'clock. It's actually hosted by a company in Abingdon, Virginia called Living Faith Television. And what we do is basically we take the meat of the broadcast is one of Pastor's messages. But we'll run different things. We use Adobe Premiere. If anybody's familiar with Adobe Premiere, that's what we do all of it. We take the services, we add titling, we add music, we add whatever you want. Sometimes Pastor will do a little section where he promotes a book. different things like that. So if you've seen a TV broadcast, you kind of know what's going on there. Then we have a message, and we have had a huge response from that television broadcast. I remember one week we didn't do one for some reason. I think they had a telethon or something going on, and we had call after call after call about why our television broadcast wasn't there. So locally here, I know if you look on the back of one of our bulletins, I don't remember exactly what channel. I know channel 14 is if you have a Comcast channel if you live around here, but if you look up Living Faith Television, their broadcast, you can find out if there's one in your area or not. But that's called Faith of the Family Television, and that's where we produce it. So.
My name is Shane Bender. I work with the publishing and distribution, mainly print. So be happy to answer any questions, the old media.
Shane will be doing a lecture about that tomorrow about our print and our publishing company, which you might find interesting. But Shane prices all of our print jobs. Shane primarily works with print. I'm trying to record this. He prices all of our print job, deals with all our printers. All of our printing, for the most part, we don't do any of it in-house. We use selected printers. Our main printer, I believe, still is in Nashville that we use. But we have a couple local printers we use. But Shane coordinates all that. He does a lot of pricing. The coin that you have in your pocket for registration, Ryan designed the coin. Shane priced the coin. We got the coin taken care of. That's how a lot of this works. Pastor actually designed the coin. Told Ryan, make this green, make this blue. Pastor's still very involved in all of that. He cares about it all. The design office is actually located above his office, so he can easily come up and talk to us. He's involved in all of that design work. Everything you see that we have put out in print or designed, even our websites, Pastor has had a say and a hand in that. Even after all these years in the ministry, he still wants to have a classic touch on our materials, a timeless look to it. He's not really interested in anything that looks modern. He does like a classic design. Chad, we'll let you speak about the social media. Chad takes care of all of our social media.
Well, I'm Chad Mitchell, and in the regards of what we're speaking with today, I'm helping manage the Facebook, the Twitter streams, and the things of that nature. It's a lot of stuff going on. A lot goes out on, especially during a week like this. I know social media is a big project. People sit here and say, what should I go with? Where should I be? And there's some tools out there to help you. There's some things along those lines. There's a tool that I use called Hootsuite that I would not be able to survive this week were it not for that specific tool. So there's some things out there. If you have any questions, be happy to talk to you about it. And I'll hand this back to you, sir.
Let me show you one other thing we're very excited about. Let's pull up Beaches Road Facebook page. Brother Zinker, who was unable to be here, heads our British division of Crown College and our United Kingdom ministries. They have started these social media pages. This is Beaches Road Baptist Chapel, which is something that's the church Brother Zinker's pastoring, and it's where most of our students work, although they work in different churches all over England. Most of our students are at Beaches Road, and some great photos on here of their Sunday school ministry and different things. It's one of our newer Facebook pages. I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I forgot, and it's something you would all find very interesting to see how we're able to minister over there to the British young people in the Sunday school and different things. There's church photographs on here of the churches, pictures of them doing evangelistic work, and a lot of different things. And that's Beaches Road Baptist Chapel, and it's on Facebook. Any of these Facebook pages, if you're not real familiar with that, if you like those, there's a like button there. If you like those, you will get updates on your Facebook page from these folks. So every time Mr. Zinker puts up a new Sunday school outing or a service they had, or some people were saved at the service, you will get a notification at Facebook that that's going on, even in England. So it's very interesting. I'm sure most of you know how that works. I just wanted to show you that one page if you weren't familiar with that, something new we're doing. All right, at this time, if you have some questions for these fellas, they'd be happy to try to answer them. Okay, I'm gonna let you reach us. I'm gonna give you the microphone here.
We've just started a radio broadcast in our church as well, and I'm using a program to edit that. What do you guys use? Because the one I have is a free download, and we're having a hard time getting things like when I'm preaching, the of us breathing disappearing. So any suggestions for that?
That's always interesting, and then the pop of the microphone too, right?
We use the program Auditions. It's part of the Adobe suite. We edit all of our stuff in that. When recording, you can set an actual place to where it won't go over to get that max out, and that way, if you do get that, where it's just peaking too much, you can set it to where it won't peak there. I think that would maybe help you a little bit with that popping or that noise. But we edit everything in Auditions, and works really well.
If you'd like to this week, get with Curtis, because we're chopping stuff up after every service. We're editing, we're moving, we're getting stuff up, and he'd be happy to work with you a little bit on that too. Ryan, did you have something to add to that?
I was going to say, if you're having problems with popping and stuff like that, a lot of times that's the microphone. A microphone comes like this, and most of them don't have a pop filter inside the microphone. So if you're popping your P's or something like that, it's going to register. If you buy one of those, what do they call them, the little foam things that go over top of mics, that takes care of a lot of the popping. These new Sennheiser microphones that we have in the auditorium, the wireless ones, they're $900 a piece. I don't know, they're the Rolls-Royce of microphones, and we still had to take pop filters and put on there, even with the built-in pop filters, because it's just the way microphones are, and that'll help with the popping and stuff like that.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
On websites, do we have any regulations that we have to follow in the way of copyrights for music? Is there anything?
There are on YouTube, and I'll let different people. I'll let Chad actually speak to the YouTube about monetizing and different things, and I'll let Mitchell speak to the original question.
As far as licensing goes, you would be responsible for whatever you do in your church. If you have music that you sing that you want to place on your site, you would need to take care of licensing yourself. That's beyond the scope of what we're able to do with our capabilities and what we offer there at the services.
Shane can speak to that as well, because he does all of our licensing, royalties, and contractual things with clients and different people, so he can speak to that from a contractual point of view, and royalties, licensing.
You will want to take a look at CCLI. They have a web license now, so that you do not have to pay the three big folks. You can actually take everything through CCLI.
Tell us about the three big folks.
ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. For quite some time, we paid an annual licensing fee so that everything that we broadcast over the website would be covered under a contract. We had 3 different contracts. Some of those reporting functions were yearly, quarterly, mailing checks at different time, hard to keep up with. CCLI, 1 fee per year, and no reporting. Wow. So it's the way to go. You're covered, so that what you're broadcasting, they cover Christian music, so pretty much anything that you would be broadcasting would be covered by that.
Not just congregational music, special.
Correct. Now there is 2 different types of license that we hold here at the church. One that allows us to include as part of the service on a DVD or CD any of the music that's given during the service. It has to be a part of the service in order for it to be covered. But then we have that separate web license as well.
Chad can speak to YouTube monetization as well, if you're putting stuff up on YouTube.
YouTube's a big channel now that people put out music, things of that nature. If you're taking special music from your services like we do, like we showed you just a minute ago, you have the option to monetize your YouTube channel. What does that mean? That means when somebody watches a video, you might get half a penny for it. Okay? Doesn't sound like a lot, but if you had something that went viral, you could have a little bit of income. The thing about monetization, if you don't own the music, if you don't own the copyright, you can't monetize it. YouTube will pull it down, and if you do it too much, they will actually boot you off. So you can't monetize a performance of music in any way, shape, form, or fashion unless you can prove, hey, we put this song together, it's our music, we compiled it, everything of that nature. So it's a big deal, and it can do a lot for you.
You can upload the music, obviously. You just can't monetize it. And if you're interested in YouTube, if you speak to these gentlemen about it, we put all of our music up. We just can't profit from it financially because we don't own all the music that our choir and orchestra and soloist and all those people sing. So we don't monetize it.
Sure. While we're on the subject of licensing and YouTubes and things of that nature, one thing you may want to consider, especially if you're using photos of children or performances of children, release forms are a big deal anymore. If a parent gets mad at you because you have a video of their kid up on YouTube, it could be a big deal. So that's something to be aware of and thinking about.
What we do at Crown and at Temple Academy is we, in our handbook, and also, well, in both handbooks, the handbook for the academy and the handbook for the college, when the student signs that handbook, there's an agreement in there that any of their images or videos or whatever, that the images that may be captured, the video that may be captured, we are able to use those in these formats. So when a student signs that they have read the handbook and they agree to the handbook, if you go in the bookstore, John Oliar's got a picture in there in a soccer uniform playing soccer for me. He went to college here. I've used that picture for years, but he agreed to it when he signed the handbook. So those type of things will help you. Shane Bender is someone that could talk to you about that from a contractual standpoint. Anybody else have any questions? Yes, sir. I know this microphone is a little pain, but we're just trying to get these questions.
Well, you mentioned about placing on YouTube. What if somebody in the church videos it while it's going on and then places it on YouTube? Is the church liable?
I can let Chad speak to that, but the short answer to that is no. They would be, and it can be traced back to where, who uploaded it, and that type of thing. Anything else to say to that? All right, no.
As far as the web hosting, is there any built-in web optimization tools, or is there, could you purchase those as add-ons, or how does that work?
A lot of the deal with search engine optimization is just having good quality content that people want to read. When you're offering good content, Google picks that up. That's what they're doing, is that they want to have an algorithm designed so that people can't game the system and that people find what they're looking for. So the very first priority is just having good content. Secondly, there are, as far as places to add keywords, places to putting your title tags in, yes, and we help you with all those things. And I have put together for several people instructions on how to get that together, to get listed in Google, to get listed in Google's local search directory, to get all these things so that your site has the best chances of succeeding on the three major search engines, Google, Bing, and Yahoo. But yes, we offer the help that you need to get listed there like you like.
On your television program, just was made aware that the FCC is trying to put in extra requirements that all, the subtitles. Have y'all heard that? Are you having to deal with that as well?
We haven't dealt with that yet in the state of Tennessee. If Brian wants to speak to that.
As of right now, I'm in communication with the TV station every week. We do subtitling in all of our stuff, so there's no problems. Usually what I do is if there's a song, I'll put the name of the song up. I put the person who's playing it. When pastor preaches, I think every 10 minutes or so, maybe 8 minutes, a subtitle comes up and tell whose it is, what the passage is, what the name of the title is. So and subtitling is just good on a TV broadcast anyways, because you don't want somebody to come in halfway through the message and not know what's going on. So
You're talking about straight titles. He's talking about for closed captioning, that type of thing. And that's why I said legally in the state of Tennessee, we're not required to do that yet. And we'll fall off that bridge or jump off that bridge when we get there.
One more thing that I was going to say is that the new program, the Adobe Premiere program that we use, is really good if you're thinking about looking at a video program, because it actually now, when you have a video, you can actually take that, and Premiere will actually take it and take all the text off that video. So if pastor's preaching a message, it'll transcribe that entire message by just listening to his audio. And then in that text, you can actually click on a word and it'll take you to that part in the video where he said that word. So really, if you need to do closed captioning, you can transcribe it right in the Premiere and then use it to send them that text or transcription if you needed to.
There are some of these jobs where we used to have 3 or 4 people doing a certain job, and these guys all feel overworked, I'm sure. But technology and equipment and software has replaced some of that, just like what he's talking about. Any other questions? We got about 3 minutes.
Are you using, for live broadcast, what program are you using?
We just upgraded all of our equipment. We just bought a Blackmagic ATEM 1ME switcher, and that we use just Adobe Flash Media Encoder to actually stream to our server, which is Sermon Audio, and then we record our high-def video from our cameras right in the Blackmagic capture program. So that's all done right there in one room. We use a Mac Pro to record and to stream, and then we use an iMac connected to our ATEM switcher to do the switching for the cameras.
Just a quick question. Chad, you said that you are sort of over all the social media and all that. So for instance, you can link the Facebook and the Twitter, but do you do all of the updates and all of the statuses for the college, the academy, the da-da-da-da-da, or is there one individual person for each of those?
There are individuals, but he overrides them. So, and there's different access points. For instance, on a certain Facebook account, there may be 4 or 5 administrators. So I may be in a van in North Carolina talking about the Crown soccer team just won the regional game, while he's here talking about Pastor Smith preached in chapel today. What a blessing. Click here to watch the video. So there's different administrators, but I also want him to show you quickly. I want to show you Hootsuite. If you can pull that up. This is a tool that you can use. Not that quickly, Chad. This is a tool that you can use for something like that you'd find very beneficial.
Okay, I mentioned this a minute ago, and it's loading. The internet will take just a minute. Hootsuite, for anybody that's interested, that's Hootsuite, Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a social media management program. They have a free level. It has it's advertised based, so they can push ads to your content if you go with the free. It's $6 a month for what they call the Pro. They allow you 2 team members, and you can manage an unlimited amount of social media accounts. Now, what does that mean? That means the Academy Facebook page I have access to here. The college Facebook page I have access to here. Pastors Media I have access to here. All the Twitter streams I have access to here. And I can post to these at any point in time. I can compose a tweet, training session, and I can come in here. This shows me all my social media accounts that I have access to, and I can pick where I want it to go. I can send it now. I can sit here and say I want to schedule it. I can schedule this indefinitely in advance. So for this week, we had the speakers, the lineup, everything else. I went in, I scheduled every morning, every afternoon that we're having who's speaking, and I'll show you that here. Today at 6:30 p.m., we've got a feed going out. Pastor Jack Treber and Dr. David Gibbs will be bringing the message this evening. That's going to our Facebook streams. I've got at 6:40 on Twitter. I've used the hashtag Baptist Friends 2012. And then I've put the message on there. Why? The reason, you've got to remember, Twitter is different than Facebook. Twitter's 140 character, it's smaller. Twitter uses hashtags. People who are really into social media, if you put the hashtag into it, they look at you funny. So I've split those out. But I've got the whole week here, every message, every live stream, the link is there, and that goes out. I can set it and forget it. I walk away. I also have the ability here, my little tab, college streams, if this will pull up. I've got wall posts that are on the college website. I can look at that. If somebody puts something on the college website that I don't want, I can see that. I can go in and remove it. I've got the news feed where people have posted to the college so that I can see, okay, these are what some of the students are doing. I've got sent tweets that the college Twitter account has sent. I have mentions. This shows me if someone has mentioned at the Crown College, it shows me what's going on. I've got my tweets retweeted. This is when somebody has taken a tweet of mine and retweeted it, and it shows me who things are moving through. And then I can also manage the direct inbox messages. They have an ad in here where I can see the YouTube videos. It's not as functional as I would probably like for it to be because Hootsuite, it doesn't support YouTube's as well. But Facebook, Twitter, WordPress blogs, LinkedIn, all those sites are manageable by Hootsuite, and you can schedule in advance. Is that
wonderful? In addition to that, just like he said, he set up the week because we have a schedule, same schedule you have in your Bible. So we know who's going to preach, at what time they're going to preach. We don't know how long they're going to preach, but we know they're going to preach. So we schedule all that in advance. We can also go in and make updates, put anything we want to. But that is a very useful tool if you don't want to, take care of all. You create a social media animal that has to be fed. That is a very interesting way to feed it without being linked to it, dragging it around all day. Does that make sense? One more question from anybody, or we'll
We took a little bit of flack in the beginning for using YouTube because, like anything on the internet, anybody can go anywhere and find something that that's not good if they want to. You can do that. One thing that we did is we use YouTube as almost like a server now. And I hate to say this to Mitchell, but I think we've taken a little bit of hosting away from him because we use YouTube. We can throw it up there and just take a link and use it in our website. If you look at our website, there you can see there's a point where we went from like putting sermons on a server to actually now all we have to do on our website is put the YouTube link in, and that video will play right in our website. So if your church feels like the actual website YouTube is a little off, whatever I think, you could actually close the YouTube page down so nobody could visit it on YouTube, but you could still use their hosting to use it in your website. So that's one thing that we've done.
Let me read this to you quickly. Warning, clicking off this page to another area on YouTube may take you to videos outside Faith for the Family's oversight, which could contain inappropriate content. All of the videos listed on this page are children and teenager safe. So we put that on everything we do. Yes, you can go straight from here to something horrible, but we can't control that. So, and we found from our students, we can filter, all of our internet's filtered, and we're putting wireless internet in all the dormitories next semester in the fall, filtered. But if it's in someone's heart, it's just like Pastor talks about, all the time. If it's in your heart, you're going to sit at McDonald's and Starbucks and look at whatever you want to sit at. We cannot control that. So, but we do try to, we take every step we can take to try to keep everything appropriate. Listen, we appreciate, yes. Yes, we do. We want you to. As much as possible. Anyone else have anything to add to that? Any other questions? We appreciate y'all today. We're going to be talking about the same type of thing on Thursday, same group here. But if you do have any questions, you'd like to get in a sound booth, you'd like to see where these guys do design work, whatever, it's nothing that impressive. It's just basically a small office. But if you'd like to see any of that, feel free to talk to any of these gentlemen. They can give you a card, they can talk to you, give you their mobile number, and help you any way possible. All right?